my lava lamp because
Turn on your lava lamp.
Yeah, because I want to feel smooth with it.
Ooh, you like jazz?
You like jazz? My God, that meme is so fucking dead, but
I
it's so
know.
hilarious.
I know it's you know what fascinates me about some memes like the B movie or Big Chungus?
Yes.
It's like it's like these kids who like remember something that they saw in their childhoods and then they just decide to like spam the shit out of it like in meme form. Because like especially like with Big Chungus, like that cartoon, that specific cartoon with Bugs Bunny, that came out in like the 1940s.
Yes, it did.
Like before the internet, before like what people knew what like a meme was. Like sometimes I like to think, what if the director of that cartoon was still alive today? What would he think of Big Chungus?
I think he would be happy that his cartoon is being given so much love for just one scene of that cartoon.
Probably, yeah.
And he would be like marketing the fuck out of it. If he was alive,
Yeah.
he would have just like, all right, copyright that. We're gonna make it into a marketing prize. Let's go.
Yeah, and I wondered, has anybody ever asked Jerry Seinfeld what he thought of like all of the B movie memes? Because Jerry Seinfeld is the star of B movie.
You like jazz?
Yeah, you like jazz?
You like jazz?
What's the deal with all of this honey? We're giving it to the humans and they're selling it for a profit. What's the deal with that? Kramer! Hello, Newman.
Oh my God. I like how we're talking about bees, even though we're not. We're supposed to be talking about spiders.
Oh yeah, you make a very good point.
We're talking about bees.
We're talking about another.
And also, on all occasions, a bee should not be able to fly. The wings are way too small to lift that small body off the ground.
Kramer, what's the deal with bees? They shouldn't be able to fly, Kramer.
You like jazz? And I really like the bee movie because that one guy just gets extremely jealous from a bee because his wife is hanging out with him.
the guy who sounds like Joe Swanson.
You like jazz? Yes.
Peter.
Hey,
like
Peter.
Jazz.
Hey, Peter. You like jazz? Bonnie really likes jazz. She likes it when I go cha-cha right in her. Never mind. I'm gonna stop there.
His shit doesn't work, man. That's a fucking lie.
I know, but
car passing. You gotta love that traffic ASMR.
Beautiful. You gotta love it. And also, speaking of ASMR, that was me clapping my hands.
And no, actually, that was the sound of Ben Shapiro's wife's pussy.
Okay, sure.
You don't get that meme?
No.
Oh, do you know who Ben Shapiro is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you ever hear like what he was saying about Cardi B's wet ass pussy song?
No.
So he was like he was like dissecting the lyrics, and you know how like Cardi B is like, oh, I need a mop and a bucket to clean up like all the fluids coming out of my wet ass pussy, and then he's like, if your pussy is dripping so much liquid, that is a medical problem, and I should know. My wife is a medical doctor. And then everybody started dunking on him because it's like, oh, Ben Shapiro has never seen a wet ass pussy. His wife is so dry that her pussy has never gotten wet when they fucked.
Oh, that's like a major burn on him without even knowing. He was burning himself. Because
he's always about like the facts and everything, but like it's almost like he doesn't understand metaphors. Like he can't understand metaphors or figure of speech, so everything has to be literal for him, which is like a fucking lie. He just does this
to
huh?
He's a Republican?
Well, conservative. I don't know if we can. I don't know, because it's kind of different. Like conservative, like Republicans are conservatives, but then, you know, not all conservatives are Republicans. So I just say that he's conservative.
I don't know if you guys noticed what I said when I said that. I didn't say it correctly. I said it repunkin, insulting them, saying they're pumpkins because they got nothing in their heads.
Ah, okay
there
then.
You go. Yeah.
Shit, we're talking about B movie. We're talking about Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, let's go back on the spiders. So this is where we're gonna talk about Charlotte's Web. So
Charlotte's Web, yeah, Charlotte's Web.
There's spiders in there, right?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Templeton.
Yeah, I
the
like
rat.
the pig. The pig is pretty smart.
Yeah.
Way smarter than any human. And that spider, if she was a human, oh, you know how many how many jobs she can give.
Oh my fucking god.
yeah, weeb joke.
Okay, all right. So let's start for real.
Monster Musume really fucked up my fetishes.
Oh my god, shut the
It
fuck
really
up with
did.
your fucking fetishes.
Shut the fuck up. You like MILFs.
Yes, that's a socially acceptable fetish.
In what category?
Well, I mean, liking MILFs and cougars is a pretty vanilla kink.
No. What category of MILF?
Oh, I don't know. Like MILFs with like thick thighs and big
No.
boobs.
No. There's a category. There's anime MILFs, normal
Oh,
MILFs,
normal MILFs. Like,
and then there's granny MILF.
normal MILFs because like
Alright,
what?
there you
Because
go.
like cartoons don't do it for me.
Okay.
Like you ever see Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes.
My pee-pee never got hard when I look at Jessica Rabbit because I'm sorry, that ain't real. That shit ain't real.
No shit. No one's a furry. Only furries go for that.
No, wait, no, no. Jessica Rabbit, she's a human in the movie.
I know.
You stupid.
But her name is Jessica Rabbit, so I made a joke with being only furries go
So
for
by
that.
so by that logic, Megan Fox from the Transformers movies, she's a
fox. Yeah.
she's an actual fox.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh damn! So that means Machine Gun Kelly. He's a
He's actual machine gun.
he's a furry.
Fucking literal. He's a fucking
So
furry.
a fox marrying a machine gun.
What is the baby crossbred? All right, back to foxes. We're getting off topic real quick.
Yeah, we're getting off topic real quick. All right,
My
boys.
God.
All right, we're gonna
Back
be
to Spider-Man.
yeah, we're gonna be talking about Spider-Man: No Way Home.
It
All
was
right.
fantastic. If you haven't seen it, well, guess what? No shit. This is a spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the movie, you should have seen the movie.
Yeah, it's been out for like a fucking month now.
Well, in our
As of
time.
recording.
As of recording.
Yeah.
But right now, it's probably like 3 months, 4 months already.
Like who knows? Like who
Yeah,
knows
who
when
knows?
you're gonna be watching this? But,
Yeah, who knows? Who freaking knows?
But let's give our initial thoughts.
Yeah, let's
All right.
go. I really like I like the whole beginning. They continue it from the last movie.
Oh, so you like the beginning?
Yeah, I like the beginning because I thought they were gonna change it up. Like all movies, they always change the beginning up from what the last
a
movie
retcon.
ended. Yeah. So I really like they just go back to JJJ saying
J.
that.
Jonah Jameson. Yeah.
Yeah. It just goes Peter Parker is Spider-Man, the Menace.
What the beep?
Yeah, what the beep? And then I like the scene where Ted and Peter would just go, dude.
Oh, you mean Ned?
Yeah, Ned.
Yeah, Ned.
They just go, dude. And then and then she just in the background going, dude. Oh, like, oh, yeah.
Oh, MJ. Yeah.
Yeah, MJ.
Well, yeah, the beginning was really good, but I was more asking, like, what did you think of the movie overall? Like,
Oh, I loved it. Loved it.
Me too. Same here.
Loved it.
I
Meme
fucking love
potentials from all of it. I am a
yeah.
scientist. I also am a scientist.
I'm also something of a scientist
So
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Green Goblin.
And then the sun, palm of your hand.
I liked when Dr. Octopus and Tobey Maguire met, and then he's like,
You've grown so much.
yeah, you've grown so much. Yeah,
How you been, my boy?
I've been
And then like
trying to do better.
They're trying to do better.
Yep.
From the first movie, like it's like I saw it edit in TikTok, like where all the lines
Yeah.
they brought from the first movie
Yeah,
to the movie that came out. Like it was like saying like I heard that you always late and make and lazy, and like I'm trying to do better.
Trying to do better.
And then it goes back to the movie, back to like, my boy, you've grown so much. How you been? Trying to do better.
Yeah.
And it's just like the heartwarming, like you feel in your chest go, oh my God.
Yeah, no,
Ah.
no, yeah, I love
The emotions.
I love those scenes. I love those scenes where like they really pay respect to the old Spider-Man movies and the old characters that used to be in them. I really love that stuff. I really enjoyed, and I just really enjoyed like characters like Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin. Dr. Octopus especially because they really redeem his character at the end. And like that actor, like I'm a big fan of that actor who plays him, Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
And so when they casted him as the Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2, that was like really perfect casting because not only does he look a lot like Dr. Octopus from the
Doc
comic
Ock.
books, yeah, Doc Ock from the comic books, he He's just such a good actor that he really played the role so well. And to get to see him again, like throughout the movie, and he gets a redemption arc, that's actually pretty nice. I really enjoyed that. Yeah. So what else did you like from the movie?
I kind of like how all the three Spider-Mans did the meme.
They did the meme.
Yeah,
Yes.
they did the meme. They're like, wait, you're Peter? Yeah, I'm Peter.
Yeah,
Like, who
you're
are
Peter.
you? You're Peter? You're Peter. Like I love that they brought the memes
They brought the
in
memes.
the movie. I loved it. And
Yeah.
the lines of the old movies, the memes that was created from it.
Yeah.
The whole, I'm Spider-Man. No, I'm Spider-Man. You're
Yeah.
not Spider-Man. Like, I
We're
loved it.
we're all Peter.
We're all Peter here. Peter Parker, still
Peter Parker.
my Peter, we're all Peters here, Ned.
Yeah.
Like, Peter the computer. Like, oh. Like, it was so good. I loved
Do
it.
you know a Peter Parker who is Spider-Man? Yes.
Yes.
Is that him?
No. Exactly. I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved that they brought the memes into it.
Yeah.
Even when they were talking about the wet fluid.
Exactly.
Like the organic and the wet shooters.
Oh, yeah.
They had a whole scene where they were talking about it. And
Exactly.
the back problems too. Like,
Well, I didn't expect that, but like I am so happy that they took like a couple of scenes to talk about the different like ways that the Spider-Man shoot webs. Because I can't tell you like how many like Instagram, Reddit, or like TikToks that I've seen where like people are just like memeing how like they would talk about it, and they actually did
They
it. Like,
talk about it, yeah.
They actually talk about it like
before the battle actually started.
yeah, and it's just like and it's just like yeah, it's like because it's just so great. What I really liked about this movie is that it really seemed that like Marvel, the writers, the directors, they all really seemed to understand what the fans wanted out of this third Spider-Man movie. Because I don't know how you feel about the last Spider-Man movie. I wasn't really too
Into it because it
wasn't-
was just
yeah. So I actually saw Spider-Man No Way Home twice. I saw it with you,
Yep.
and then I saw it with my sisters. Because they also wanted to watch it. But before I saw it the second time...
And no, they're already taken.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I just thought.
Shut the fuck up
I
about
thought
that shit.
I should say that.
Okay, all right.
No, they're already
No.
taken.
No, but anyway, so before I watched it the second time with my sisters. We rented Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we rented it and then we watched it, and like I was just like so not into the movie, because one thing that I do really like about this new Spider-Man movie is that
They really were thinking about the fans and the memories.
not just that, but this movie actually feels like an actual Spider-Man movie
Really?
in terms of like. So here's the thing. So one thing that I associate a lot with the character of Spider-Man is that Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is a character who always has to juggle his real life
With his
and his
superhero
superhero
life.
life.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes both of those worlds always collide and always cause problems for him. So for example, because his identity was revealed in this new movie, it's just causing all these problems for him at school. With Aunt May, with the government.
Well, in
and
this
also,
movie, Aunt May already knew he was Spider-Man. So
Oh, no,
it worked out for him on that part.
No,
but
no,
in
but
the other
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like it's just causing problems for like everybody in his life,
Yeah.
and he feels guilty because he feels guilty that he let this happen, and also like it's also affecting his friends. Like they're like one of the things that I love about this movie is that the reason why he goes to Doctor Strange to try to change like reality is because he and his friends can't get into the college that they want, which is so relatable. And that's like the great thing about the Spider-Man character is that throughout like the comic books, the cartoons, we always see Peter Parker as like a young man, whether he's in high school or in college. So his problems are very relatable to young people, to kids and teenagers. And so this is something like that's very relatable to the character. With the other movies, I didn't quite like what they were doing with Spider-Man in his solo movies, because it always felt that the conflict was something that was so like not like relatable to like normal everyday people.
Yeah, because
and also
the actors they got to play as Spider-Man are grown adults already.
well, not just that. Well, because Tobey Maguire, he was already in his 20s playing a teenager. But no, what I mean is that like the way that they would write the stories, like in Spider-Man: Homecoming, a lot of the conflict like for example, in the Birdman, the Vulture, and Mysterio in the last two Spider-Man movies, their reason for becoming villains is because Tony Stark screwed them over.
Yeah.
And so Spider-Man has very little connection to these villains like he did in the other movies. Because
because in the other movies and in comics, they always had a relation of Spider-Man fucking over their big job, and then you want to get revenge from them.
Yeah,
but this time in the movies, it's just they're getting revenge from Tony Stark, while Spider-Man fights them.
Exactly.
And so the connections with them is not there.
Yeah.
Like the old comics and the old movies.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man always had interactions with these guys and know them first.
Exactly.
And they screw them over by stopping them from bank jobs, making kidnapping ransoms and all that. And they always said, "I will get you back, Spider-Man." And that's how they make the connections in.
Well, because since watching Spider-Man No Way Home, I rewatched the original 3 Spider-Mans, and with both Spider-Man 1 and 2, you see that the villains are very much connected thematically to Spider-Man. Like, for example, in the first Spider-Man movie, we have Green Goblin. So essentially, in the first Spider-Man movie, both Green Goblin and Spider-Man get their powers around the same time, and they essentially So you see 2 different people like that are connected, but you see the different ways that they take their gifts. So Spider-Man getting bitten by the spider, he decides that he has a great responsibility and he has to live up to the responsibility that his power gives him. But Norman Osborn, because he's a greedy businessman / scientist, he decides to use his power for his own personal gain and to get revenge. And like in the other 2
because
Spider-Man movies,
he was fired by his own company.
Yeah, and then in the other 2 Spider-Man movies, like I think like Jake Gyllenhaal, who played Mysterio, and Michael Keaton, who played the Vulture, I think they did a good job in portraying the characters, but I just felt that the way that the characters were written really was a disservice to like both fans and to what those characters are. But in this movie, we really get to see, even though these villains are not, they're not really connected to Tom Holland in a lot of ways, but they really make the villains, because we recognize and we know these villains. It really I don't know, it just works. It works because they feel like Spider-Man villains. Because in the other ones, they just felt like, oh, these are just assholes who got pissed off at Tony Stark. These people, these villains actually feel like well-rounded villains, and I really enjoyed that about the movie. What did you think about the villains? Like, did you like the choices of villains that they chose for this movie?
Yeah, in a way I did. Of course, some of the villains are like, color-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And not the same from the comics, but I really like the villain choice of actors playing as them. And if you didn't notice, and in the fighting scene when Electro, Rhino, and Lizard. Yeah, Lizard. And Lizard and Sandman were gonna have the tri-fight. Mm-hmm. When Electro showed up, if you notice a little detail, if you skip frame by frame, mm-hmm. when Electro shows up, they show up his electrical mask face in electrical form. Yeah. And his like electrical suit and everything when he showed up. Exactly. Appearing. You can see the mask appearing for like a good 7 seconds.
Yeah, great little Easter eggs that you see throughout the movie. Yeah. Also, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man have a fight, and I didn't notice this. You pointed out in the theater. So you know that thing that Doctor Strange does, or like all these like wizards that in the Marvel universe, what they do is like when they like separate like your soul from your body. Yeah. When he did it to Peter Parker was able to like control his body still, even when being like separated from his body. It's and because of his spider sense. And you noticed that his spider sense was tingling around him. Yes. And the spider sense that you see around him looks exactly like the way that the spider sense looks in the comic books, like those wavy little lines, those tingly little lines.
Yeah, tingly little lines. So when we saw that, the second I saw that, I told him. Mm-hmm. He didn't even notice until I pointed it out. I was like, look around his head. It's like the spider sense waving from the comics and all that. And the spider body is moving the box away. Yeah. Because he knows that he does the body knows that to keep the box away from Doctor Strange. Yeah. And Peter's like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and because I was like thinking like like Hulk didn't have that ability in in Endgame when the what was her name, the Ancient One or
Yeah,
something.
the Ancient One did
When she did it, he couldn't control his body, but
At
that was like really interesting that his spider sense, that's what gives him the edge right here.
Yeah.
And
that was really interesting
Yeah.
because I don't know, like in they talked about it in the comments at all, because I do go back and watch like comic reviews and all that
Yeah.
from every Marvel hero.
Yeah.
And I never seen a comic review talking about Peter Parker fighting Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time we see like what will happen if Doctor Strange takes away his spiritual form from his physical one. And that explains, and that well, in that movie, in the Marvel universe, in their universe, Spider-Man is able to defend himself even though he's not connected to his physical body.
Right. Yeah, no, but I just really enjoyed it that they really put like a lot of detail in what they and just like just like in the whole world that they create. Because when I first saw that scene, I was like, oh my god, this is like anime level bullshit that they're doing right here.
Plot convenience.
Yes,
plot convenience.
But you notice the lines, because again,
Yes.
like the little wiggly lines, they're transparent.
Yes.
So you really have to like really pay attention to like what's in the scene to like notice them. But like I'm thankful that they're there. One thing that I also really like about this movie is that this movie actually reminded me a lot of that 90s Spider-Man show that they used to have on Fox Kids. So that 90s Spider
Which one?
the one that's just called Spider-Man. So
Oh,
if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up on YouTube, look up
Spider-Man.
90s Spider-Man. And then you'll either get like the theme song, you might get like a
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. So what I mean,
Amazing Spider-Man.
okay, yes, exactly, yes. So so what I mean by this is that this movie reminds me a lot of that 90s Spider-Man show, because in that show they had like a lot of cameos and crossovers with different characters. And
Iron Man, Captain America,
The
Strange, X-Men,
exactly.
the Fantastic Four,
So
Wolverine.
So because like I don't know how you felt about like Doctor Strange being like such a being such a main character in this movie. Like I was okay with it, because again, like
it was okay. It makes sense because
Yeah.
he wants to change the world to the better for his friends.
Yeah.
And then when he fucked it up, trying to tell him to change the spell over and over again, he got angry. He's like, oh, fuck off, Peter. You go deal with it. Because I like it when he was doing the spell and then containing the spell because it's now out of control.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, you didn't ask him first?
Yeah.
Like, and he just like gives the same reaction every teenager always gives to their parents when they're saying, wait, you haven't done this first yet? Well, before asking me, they always like, wait, I can do that? And it just kicks out.
Oh my god. No, yeah. So I like I was saying, it's like in the 90s Spider-Man TV show, like Doctor Strange, he made a couple of appearances in a couple of different episodes, and like through that 90s Spider-Man show, that's how I discovered who Doctor Strange was. But also, did you know that both Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are created by the same two people?
Oh, who?
So obviously Stan Lee, because Stan Lee basically created like basically like a majority of the Marvel characters.
Sony, give Spider-Man back. Don't be an ass. Give back Marvel. It's Golden Boy.
Oh my god. Okay. So yeah. So so it's Stan Lee, and it's also another artist named Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko is also responsible for co-creating Doctor Strange. What?
Steve Ditko?
Hey, he's fucking Russian. Don't be a fucking racist.
I'm not being racist. I just thought a funny joke.
All right, but don't be fucking racist.
I'm not being racist.
He's Russian.
I
some
like
kind
the
of
name.
Eastern European.
Nah, but there's a joke in there.
All right, so shut the fuck up. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense for both of them to team up, because they essentially have the two same daddies.
Yes. No homo.
Hey, we support the LGBTQ.
I know,
plus
but
community.
in that sense, no homo.
Oh my god. Okay, fuck. Okay. But anyways, so yeah,
God, my jokes are dead today.
So I really enjoyed Doctor Strange in this one, because I just loved his interactions with Peter Parker, And oddly enough, I liked Doctor Strange's interactions with Peter Parker more than I liked him and Tony Stark's interactions in the other movies.
Because it was like a father figure moment. Like he had like the awkward way of how to treat a child, even though he didn't have his own. And Peter's basically was his first child. That's what people on the internet was calling him. Son or the son he never had and the father he never had.
Yeah.
And they just made it into a son and father, and their whole relationship was a little bit weird.
I know, but I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling it in terms of like it wasn't really like entertaining to me. I didn't really find it all that funny and stuff. But then again, it's like Iron Man is not really like my favorite character in the MCU.
There will be a lot of people saying, "How dare you disrespect Tony? He died."
I mean, there's like a lot of movies. Well, I sort of base it off on like my love of the movies. Like I kind of like Captain America a little bit more. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy quite a bit, and this new Spider-Man, Tom Holland, I like him quite a bit as well. So I wasn't always like a big fan of like Iron Man. Actually, I think I like Thor a little bit better than Iron Man, to be honest, just only because of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that whole movie was unscripted. Well,
it wasn't unscripted.
Well, 55% of it wasn't scripted.
You mean improvised. So there's so there's a difference between unscripted and improvised.
Well, that's what they call it, unscripted.
It's not unscripted because Disney is not going to spend $200 million for an unscripted movie. I'm sorry.
I know,
bullshit.
But that's what they're calling it. That's when they said.
You mean improvised?
In the interviews, they said 95% of the movie was unscripted. That's what they literally said. I know it was improvised. Well, then they shouldn't be calling it that. That's like misinformation. That's just going to give people the idea that nothing was planned. Like I'm saying is like I know what you meant, but I'm just saying what they said. That's
all
it.
Right. Okay. Oh, we got way off track of Spider-Man right now. So I really like the inclusion of Doctor Strange. I didn't think that he was annoying. I didn't think he was distracting in any ways. I thought he was like the nice cherry on the top of like this movie sundae.
Yes, it was good. I really like his interactions. Even when he was being an asshole, it's like, oh, you found another one.
Well, because he is an asshole, and that's what I like about him.
Yeah, and then when he was trying to send them all back to their own universe, trying to kill them.
What'd you think about like him and Spider-Man's little fight in the dimension, in that pocket dimension?
It's called the mirror dimension.
I know, but what'd you think of it?
Apologize for not calling it what it was. Apologize.
Okay, I'll apologize.
Apologize right now. Oh my god. Fine, whatever. I take it as your apology.
Okay, I'll apologize. You can apologize to these nuts.
All right, we're continuing.
All right, but what'd you think of it? Stop being a fucking nerd about every fucking thing. Jesus Christ.
Yes. I really like the fight. Like the whole thing, Peter was in a major disadvantage of the whole mirror dimension fight. Mm-hmm. And then once Peter figured out that it was geometry, he figured it out and kicked his ass with math.
Exactly. That's what I love. That's what I love about this movie. It's like those little things. It's like those little details about different characters. Like, yeah, Peter Parker is a huge fucking nerd. So it would
genius.
Oh my God! Stop.
They consider him as a genius.
Okay, so he's a genius. He's very book smart. So of course he would use like his book smarts to defeat like any opponent. Like that's really good.
Even a magical one.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like I like that. Like I like that kind of attention to detail, because in this movie it's less about him trying to impress Iron Man or trying to impress the Avengers. It's just
they're dead.
Yeah, because it's just Peter Parker trying to figure shit out, like trying to figure out about his life, and trying to make things good for his friends and family. And I think that's a lot more relatable, and to me that's a lot more interesting than just him trying to, oh, Tony Stark senpai, notice me.
No, senpai.
Hate that
Tony
bullshit.
Daddy, please notice me. I have done
Tony,
all this.
Tony
all this
Sensei.
crime.
Please,
no sensei.
Please,
Daddy.
Sensei.
No,
Sensei,
Daddy.
teach me the wax on, wax off.
No sensei. Daddy. Because he never had a father.
Oh my.
Daddy.
Okay, but you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I understand.
It's like I like what they did writing wise with Peter Parker's character in this one, because to me this is the first time that the Tom Holland Spider-Man actually authentically felt like Spider-Man, or at least what I like to see out of Spider-Man. So there also is a little another cameo in the movie. Dude.
What?
What the fuck? You're gonna ruin the mic.
I'm sorry.
You stupid asshole.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck did you do that for?
I don't know. I had the urge.
What? Why do you keep doing this? Stop putting the mic is dirty as fuck. Oh my god.
I'm immune.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just had
Oh my god, you do like the most cringiest things sometimes, because you know what this asshole did in the movie theater. So there's a scene towards the end of the movie where like the 3 Spider-Men are in the lab trying to create cures for the villains in the movie. And then Ned, Spider-Man's best friend in the MCU, talks to Tobey Maguire and he says, "Hey, do you have?"
Oh my god, yes!
Laughing hard. You were laughing. Stop yelling! Stop fucking yelling so much. Yes, you were yelling fucking loud, and then like. You were yelling for like a good solid 2 minutes, and like the joke wasn't even that funny. Yes, Ned talks to Tobey Maguire, and Tobey Maguire says, "Oh yeah, I had a best friend. He died in my arms right before he tried to kill me." And then Ned gets all uncomfortable. That's a very funny scene. It's very funny, but it's not like laugh out loud funny. I chuckled to myself, but I was chuckling more to myself. I was like, "Oh yeah, James Franco. They're not gonna show him in this movie because James Franco is a fucking criminal."
I thought it was funny.
But you fucking lost your shit, and like the people behind us were like, "Oh man, this motherfucker, he won't shut up." Well, they said something like that, but it's like, what the fuck, dude? That was fucking cringe. It's like, it's not that funny.
I thought it was really funny. I thought.
Yes, it's chuckle-worthy. It's chuckle-worthy, but it's not.
I'm a dark human person, so.
Oh my god, it's only like I like dark humor too, but it wasn't that funny.
Okay.
I thought the joke was funny because later on when Ned is talking to Peter and he revealed, and spoilers, Ned can use Doctor Strange magic now.
Oh yeah, I forgot he can.
Yeah, and so
it was like a big point of it, him doing the whole thing, like how he tried to like open the portals. He's like Spider-Man and shaking his hands, and the portal opens.
And he tells Peter like, "Oh, I got Doctor Strange magic right now, but don't worry, I'm not gonna try to kill you. I'm not gonna turn into a supervillain and try to kill you." Like, yeah, that was funny, but it's not like, I'm not like laughing my ass off. This isn't Family Guy. This isn't South Park.
Sam Park and Family Guy jokes don't make me laugh out loud. To be honest.
All right.
Like some of them do, but not all of them.
All right. Okay, but you're fucking cringe sometimes, dude.
I am cringe. I am cringe by nature.
And I'm like, I almost wanted to like go to like their row and said like, "Hey, I don't know this guy." That was the only
asshole. What an ass.
Well, you're an asshole too. You basically deep-throated the mic. How do you even do that? You got like halfway there. You're like fucking Riley Reid.
I cannot confirm or deny this information.
I'm sitting next to fucking Riley Reid over here.
I cannot confirm or deny this information.
And oh my god, you are a fucking cringe lord.
I am a cringe lord, but I cannot deny or
you cannot confirm nor deny.
Confirm or deny this information.
Oh my god. Okay. So anyways, so this movie, like the marketing, the trailers did not reveal that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were gonna come back as reprising their roles as the previous Spider-Man. There's a scene in the original trailer for this movie where like Peter Parker, where Tom Holland swings in to fight the 3 villains: Sandman, Electro, and Lizard.
Yeah, it was a big giveaway when the Lizard got hit by something that wasn't there.
Yes, exactly.
It was like a big giveaway. There will be other.
Yeah, because they edited out Andrew Garfield kicking him in the face.
Yeah. And, it was a big
yeah.
giveaway. There was also a lot of people theorizing who's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And everyone is expecting the other Spider-Mans to be in it, like the Spider-Man in the multiverse, like that movie.
Yeah.
Which is having a second movie coming out as well.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse too. And everyone just predicted it like really fast that there were gonna be other Spider-Mans coming in. And the three Spider-Mans, they thought it was gonna be Miles Morales or the two original Spider-Mans, which the two original Spider-Mans show up. And that's why when the Shocker noticed who was Spider-Man, he's like, I thought Spider-Man was gonna be a black guy. There was a reference towards
they referenced Miles Morales.
Yeah.
He referenced it, and it was like, oh goddamn, they. Well, see, because here's like the problem with that is like, I don't think they would have done Miles Morales now because like one, they were focusing on like the villains from the two previous Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people started speculating when it was when the news was released that what's his name Alfred Molina was confirmed him coming back as Doc Ock. So when that was confirmed, I was like, oh, of course, Tobey Maguire is gonna show up. And then when the trailer came out, no, because then Jamie Foxx confirmed that he was coming back as Electro, and Jamie Foxx was the villain in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And so I was like, oh, of course he's going to show up. But then when the trailer came out, and they were really doing their best to, like, hide the fact that they were there.
Yeah.
But it's like, guys, Sony, Disney, we already know. Just put them in the trailer.
Yeah, it was already a big giveaway when they brought back old villains from different movies. It was like a big, like, all right, my brain is now turning, and I can tell you brought the octopus in, you bring the Green Golem in, you bring the Electro in, you bring the Lizard in,
Sandman.
and you brought the Sandman. So, which movies had them all in Spider-Man movies? There's only two that comes in mind.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Exactly.
So what did you think about like their reveals? Because I remember when we saw it.
Spider-Man.
I remember when I saw it with my sisters. People gasped and clapped. For
not when we watched it.
Not when we watched it.
No, there was nobody clapping when we watched it.
Yeah, they gasped because probably that was probably like a lot of people who already seen it. Because by the time that we saw it, the movie had been out for like a good 2 weeks, and so but when I saw it with my sisters, everybody was clapping. I was like, oh, they weren't saying like, oh, Andrew Garfield, but like they knew that was like one of the past Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
And then I just got so happy when I saw Tobey Maguire. Like when he popped up from his portal, I was like, yes, my boy. It's my boy.
You know what I one thing I really liked?
What?
And this was a meme in Reddit and TikTok and Instagram. With the grandma's reaction with the two different Spider-Mans coming in from the portals.
Yeah.
What was him? Tobey Maguire was the first one that came in?
No, Andrew Garfield was the first one.
All right, Andrew Garfield was the first one. She was all like, screaming like, oh, what is that? And then when Tobey Maguire comes in, like, she's like, flirting, saying hello.
Because he's older. He's a DILF.
Yeah, I know, but what?
He's a DILF. Dad, I like to fuck. It's the male version of a MILF.
That's the first time I ever heard of that.
You've never heard of a DILF?
No, I have not. That's the first time I ever heard of DILF.
My God.
It's probably only existence to women, but for guys, we only go in for the MILFs.
All right, but no, yeah. So he's a
unless you're gay.
He's a hot middle-aged man now, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the reactions of the lady. Just giving different reaction, one freaking out to the younger version one, and then go all flurry and say hi to the more handsome and more older.
But did you notice how like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was just constantly like getting bullied? Like MJ and Ned could not believe that he was actually Spider-Man. So then MJ just keeps bullying him to reveal like his powers. And stuff.
like crawl on the wall. How much proof is this? Like crawl on the wall. I am not crawling the wall. And then the grandma just comes in like, can you take that web off since you're up there? And he's like,
yeah, because then when like Tobey Maguire comes in, everybody's treating him with like respect.
Like British respect. And it's just like the big difference of respect.
Because it kind of mirrors what how both Spider-Man franchises are perceived, because like Tobey Maguire's movies are considered like classics, and Andrew Garfield's, even though they have their fans, they're not as beloved as the other Spider-Man
because he only
movies.
had one movie.
No, he had two. He had The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But also like a lot of those movies were criticized a lot when they were released, because like for example, especially with The Amazing Spider-Man 2, that got criticized a lot because like it just felt like Sony wasn't interested in making like an actual Spider-Man movie. They were more interested in creating like its own universe. Like they were trying to copy Marvel, like because the Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2 felt like it was just like trying to set up like all these different things. They introduced Harry Osborn. They had the Dr. Octopus tentacles in the background. The Rhino shows up for one scene. Jamie Foxx is the main villain for most of the movie. But it just felt that they were just trying to set up a universe that failed. And that's why people don't like it, because when you rewatch the movie, it feels less of a movie but more like a commercial for like a movie that's going to come out later. It felt like a 2-hour long trailer for a movie that's going to happen, that's going to be released later, that never got released. And,
Wow.
And so that movie bombed. Well, it didn't exactly bomb.
It did good, but it didn't really.
No, well, here's like the problem. I believe that the second movie did just as well as the first movie, but because the way that Hollywood, so Hollywood makes movies this way. So they budget the movie and they give like the movie, let's say they give the movie $200 million. And so that $200 million goes to paying the actors and paying for like shooting and editing the movie. But then the studio, they probably spend as much or twice as much to advertise the movie. So
Really?
Yes. Because like all the TV ads, all the ads in front of like YouTube, the ads on like Facebook and all that stuff.
They do cost a lot of money.
They
to
cost
advertise.
a lot of money. And some studios they just spam the hell out of a movie. And so because they're spending so much money on advertising, they like a $200 million movie needs to make at least $1 billion to be profitable.
Really?
Exactly.
Damn. Okay.
And so because the second Amazing Spider-Man movie didn't make $1 billion, they were like, fuck it. No more. And then
it just became a dead universe then.
Yes, and then they decided, okay, let's join up with Marvel. Let's reboot it. Let's put them in the MCU. That way it'll bring us more attention. And also at the same time,
would it really give them more attention?
Yes, because everybody wanted Spider-Man in the MCU. That's what
true,
people wanted.
But in reality, even though he is in the MCU, he is still owned by Sony.
Well, the movies are owned by Sony. Disney owns everything else. But because he's there interacting with like Iron Man, Captain America, and all these guys, like nerds, like basically like they jizzed in their pants when they saw him interacting with the MCU characters. But also what's beneficial for Sony is because they make these movies with association with Marvel. Marvel can pay for half of the movie and Sony can pay the other half of the movie. That way they don't spend so much. And then when the movie makes $1 billion,
they just split it.
Essentially, yeah, they just split it. But like Sony, yeah, so it's more beneficial for Sony to like work with Marvel in terms of like creating Spider-Man movies
because they have more fun, more experience in the editing, the whole green screen, of the story base.
Not that. No, it's because Marvel has that built-in like fan base. Because of all of the movies that they produce. Like Sony can do all that stuff too. They can do all the CGI and all that stuff as well. But people don't love the Sony, like people didn't love the Andrew Garfield movies as much as people were loving the MCU movies. So it was beneficial for them.
Okay, gotcha.
But also like Sony is making like technically their own Spider-Man movies now, because Venom is a spin-off. The new movie Morbius, the vampire one, that's coming out. And also like Into the Spider-Verse. They're making their own Spider-Man movies that are not like part of the MCU.
Speaking of Venom.
I
was expecting Eddie Brock to be more as a character to help Spider-Man, the 3 Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting Venom to show up. Like
and he doesn't show up like until like the end credits.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what we're talking about, in the new Venom, there will be Carnage.
Yeah.
Eddie Brock got teleported in the MCU universe where Spider-Man's identity was being revealed, and they showed that Venom wants to find Spider-Man. So we thought that he was sending himself towards New York, but in reality, when the movie came out, he didn't show up at all until the end credits, where he was asking this Mexican bartender asking what's going on, the Infinity Endgame, all the whole events that happened in the MCU, and then when he was about to go towards Peter to finally meet him, he finally gets phased into existence back to his own universe.
Yeah. Yeah, and he leaves a little bit of the symbiote behind.
I don't know if he left it himself or Venom left it, because since Eddie was pretty hammered, he didn't think anything at all. He was just like, "Oh, what's going on?"
No, but he leaves. But there's a little bit of the symbiote left in this universe.
Yeah, but I think that for me, I think that the Venom took notice that we're vanishing, so he just flopped his own a little piece of himself out.
Or it could have just been by accident. But,
true. But I believe I would like to see if we get the movie itself, if we go frame by frame with Eddie Brock, him changing, and we see Venom tentacle moving to the end.
I just think it was by accident, because also Venom was also kind of drunk too.
He wasn't drunk. He was actually pretty sober when he was talking.
No, I think he was drunk.
No, when he was asking about
I think he even says Eddie, we're drunk. Let's go dance.
No. To me, I didn't hear him say any of that. It sounded like Venom was still intoxicated.
Well, because they still have that shitty that shitty audio mixing that they do for them. I don't know what's up with these new Venom movies. The audio mixing between Eddie Brock and Venom is kind of shitty sometimes. You barely understand what they're saying, because they just don't know how to edit audio. But then again, who am I to talk? I'm no audio expert.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's just sort of talk about let's talk about the story a little bit. Again, like I mentioned, that I like the story because the conflict is more personal for Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and then we get to see him just we get both the best of both worlds. We get to see him interact with other superheroes and other characters in the Marvel universe. Again, spoiler, Daredevil shows up for a scene.
Oh yeah, as the lawyer,
as his
right?
lawyer, yeah. Because in the beginning of the movie he gets arrested by the government, but because they hired Matt Murdock, he was able to get them out of legal trouble. And there's a scene, and because in the beginning of the movie, half of the people hate Spider-Man and half of the people support him. Somebody threw a brick through Peter Parker's apartment, and Daredevil, as Matt Murdock, catches the brick before Peter can catch it. And Peter gives them a look like, what the hell just happened?
And it's I'm a really good lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, as his excuse. But if you notice, when he went to grab the hand, Peter really was looking at the window, waiting for it to come in, while he really noticed it was coming because of vibration and how Daredevil works.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know,
because sound is created by the way that where airwaves are manipulated.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what Daredevil is, here's a little fact. Daredevil got his powers by an action of toxin mutations, makes him completely blind. But because of the toxin, gave him a ability to sense vibrations around him. So anything like air movement, if I move my hand side to side, he can see it.
His senses other than sight are super hypersensitive.
So when they threw the rug, I knew instantly that Daredevil sensed it first before Peter, because the rug was going towards Peter, but Daredevil sensed it first.
Because he hears, because it would make sense, because the person outside of the window would have thrown it, and just by the act of throwing it, Daredevil, using his hypersensitivity, he would have picked up the manipulation of the airwaves much faster than Peter Parker's spider sense, which actually makes me think, if both of them were to get into a fight, would Daredevil just have the edge over Spider-Man, because he knows what Spider-Man's gonna do, when he's gonna shoot a web or when he's gonna throw a punch. That kind of just makes me think about that.
Yeah, for me, I think that Spider-Man will win because not because of his abilities, just because of his spider sense alone.
But
because
also,
since Daredevil can only go by vibrations, and he has to make his own vibrations sometimes to be able to sense them. Yeah. But because of Spider-Man moves a lot, because he's fighting.
But you can't deny, because there's a science behind how sound like how we are able to listen and be able to record sound, because sound is a manipulation of the airwaves. So unless they're like fighting on the moon or something where there's no air and there's no oxygen,
Spider-Man will win.
Spider-Man would win. So, but I'm just sort of thinking, like, is Daredevil's reading, like, is he able to like sense movements faster than Spider-Man's spider sense?
In the comics,
that's just what I'm sort of thinking. Because like I don't think I've ever seen like a fight between both of them. I've seen like, you know, cartoons and stuff where like they team up to like defeat like a bad guy, like the Kingpin or something. But I'm just sort of wondering, like if they really like made a movie or made like a TV show or a comic where they actually go head to head, like I would wonder, like if they paid attention to like Spider-Man's spider sense and Daredevil's reaction to vibration. What, like, who would have the edge, like in a fist to fist fight? I'm just wondering.
Well, with Daredevil, I don't know if you have seen any videos of Daredevil. He has hyper sense that he can sense any ninja.
Yeah.
So when a ninja fight him in the comics, he was able to detect him before the blade was even struck by him. He dodged the blade and took down the ninja.
Yeah, because as he's swinging the sword, like again, like in real life, the sword is already manipulating the air around it, so it's causing like these little, like it causes like a little noise, because like when you hear like the
yeah, but in real life it makes a noise. But in the MCU comics, there are I forgot what was the ninja group's name. There was a ninja.
The hand.
The hand?
Yeah, the hand, because the hand. Did you know that the hand was the inspiration for the foot in Ninja Turtles?
In the Foot Clan. Yeah. So in the MCU, when he's fighting ninjas, they have a special ninja technique that takes away all sound and vibrations. But Daredevil was still able to sense it by little.
So it's anime levels of bullshit.
Yeah, so basically, so in the comics, Daredevil was fighting these ninjas and he was having a hard time fighting them.
Yeah.
The first time he fought them, he was pretty brutally cut.
Yeah.
But on the second time he fought them, he was able to pick up little sound vibrations when they were swinging their sword, and he was able to detect them before getting sliced and was able to take them down.
Yeah, boy.
So in a certain sense, if Daredevil and Spider-Man fought, I think they will have a tie, but it kind of depends on how Spider-Man will take him in a battle.
I don't know. I just feel like, because like Spider-Man does have like a little bit more, he has a little bit more practical powers in terms of like the web shooting and stuff like that. Because really, Daredevil he's essentially like a blind ninja. He's really good at martial arts. He has his like billy club that can turn into nunchucks and stuff like that. Like he could probably like wrap Peter around in the cable that's in his that's in his billy club. But other than that, I feel like maybe Spider-Man would probably have the edge.
Yeah, he will probably have edge. Some will disagree that Devil will win. Some will agree.
I love Daredevil. He's a cool character.
Yeah, he is. But I'm just saying that if they had a fight, there is probably gonna be a tie.
Yeah.
Unless there's some analysis or guys out there that wants to analyze Daredevil and Spider-Man and put them as a fight, death battle, they should do that.
They should do that. But again, like I'm saying, like, you know, because every time you make like a movement, especially like when you do a movement with like a lot of force, it really does give Daredevil like a bit of an edge, because he can sense he can sense the vibration in the air, and then, you know, he can like block it or like counterattack or something. But no, it's cool. But also, when I saw the movie with my sisters, people reacted like somebody, like, it was like, oh, look, it's him, it's Daredevil. And it's like, and like, even though he just has like tiny little cameo, people like got excited when they saw him.
You know, there was a meme out there when he showed up. There was a meme of him walking around in apartments, and he is like, feeling the gust of wind, and there's a portal open with all the Avengers lining up for the end game. You know, when Doctor Strange opened the portals for every hero to show up to fight Thanos. There was a scene of in the movie, him standing there with a portal open with all the Avengers there ready to fight, and he's there like, did someone open a window? Megan, did you open a window? And it was like, he can't see it because he's blind.
Like he has like super powers. Like he could probably like sense them. Like he could probably like sense their heartbeats. But anyways, that's just a meme. It's just a meme.
It's just a meme.
But the reason why he wasn't there is because like for the longest time, because this Daredevil was from the Netflix show.
Yes.
Like I don't know if you ever seen the Netflix show. It's pretty good. But Marvel Studios really didn't, because those shows were executive produced by this one producer that Kevin Feige, the producer of the Marvel universe, didn't get along with. So he treated them kind of like the stepchildren of the MCU. Like
even though they're basically part of the MCU.
Yeah, they're basically part of the MCU because those shows constantly make reference to the actual Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But now they're starting to embrace those characters. Well, Kingpin and Daredevil, they're starting to embrace, because those are the two fan favorites from that universe, or from those shows. I mean,
actually, they're actually gonna try to get Connor Reeves to be Ghost Rider when it comes out.
Ooh.
But that's just a rumor. Yeah, because they're saying that in the future they're gonna have Ghost Rider back to the MCU. I don't know for what reason, but they're trying to make a new Ghost Rider.
Well, they have to, because their movies, like they need to start developing new characters, and start making people fans of new characters, because sooner or later these movies are like, the actors, they're not going to want to act in the movies anymore. Like that's why we don't have Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans anymore.
Yeah, because their contract is done.
Their contracts have expired, and they don't want to do the movies anymore. Even though they would probably still pay them like lots of money, like to do a superhero movie, to keep up all the working out and having the patience to do all the special effects and stuff like that. It could be very tiresome. And also, like, the more movies that they do, the studio has to pay them more money.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reason why when Spider-Man 3, when they fired the director from Spider-Man 4, the original Tobey Maguire one, the reason why they rebooted it altogether is because they knew that if they're going to make a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire but a different director, they're still going to have to pay Tobey Maguire like a buttload of money. And so to Sony, what was more cost effective is, let's reboot it. Let's cast a young actor that isn't as famous or as experienced. Well, I don't know about experience, but who isn't as famous as Tobey Maguire, and we'll pay him a lot less money to be Spider-Man. So that's why they decided to reboot it after they fired the original director of Spider-Man 4.
It's coming back too.
Well, that's a rumor. There's nothing, unless it's confirmed by somebody who works at Disney, Marvel / Sony. I'm not gonna believe it. That's just like a rumor. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Tobey Maguire back again for another Spider-Man, and I would also love to see Andrew Garfield again. But to me right now, that's just rumor. I'm not gonna believe it until
it's just rumor right now. But there's already been memes out there saying that, what, you think I'm gonna be in the movie only 25% of that movie? No, you get the full full price. And it shows, like, there's a meme of him, like.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Seeing Tobey Maguire back in that movie, I think it was more than it was worth more than admission.
Yeah.
Because just the nostalgia that I got seeing him again, because I was like, yeah, my boy.
Oh yeah, they also played their own original theme song when they introduced them again.
Yeah, because you hear it, because when Tobey Maguire talks to Doc Ock, and then when he saves the Sandman, you hear that old Spider-Man music, like the old Spider-Man music, where it's like, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so you hear that old Spider-Man music, and
I believe it was a good touch to add that.
Because oh my god, when I heard that music, oh my god, the feels. Like I usually don't get this about like movies or TV shows where it's like, oh, the feels. But like what's sort of weird is like this movie, because this movie is really hitting on people's nostalgia. And the way that Hollywood has been doing it, the movies that they're doing to like appeal to people's nostalgia, like The Force Awakens or Space Jam or Ready Player One, they're trying to appeal to like nostalgia for like people who grew up in the 90s and the 80s.
The older generation.
Yeah, but now with Spider-Man Far From Home, this is like the first movie that's hitting like our nostalgia. People who grew up in like the late 90s and the early 2000s. like they're really hitting like our nostalgia, because this is probably like, so I felt like seeing like Tobey Maguire, seeing Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus back in the movie again. I probably had like the same feeling that somebody watching, I don't know, Star Wars Episode 7, like seeing like Han Solo and Chewbacca and all these guys back in the movie one more time. Like I think I felt the same way that fans of that movie felt when that one was first released, because oh my god, this is like these are characters from movies that I grew up with. My god, they're really hitting every they're really tugging at my heartstrings right now,
because it's really like emotional and really like nostalgic to see it again.
Yeah,
because we fell in love with these characters. We wanted to see them again, but after so many years and not showing us any more of them, they finally brought them back, and it just really like hit the feels real hard, because we really liked seeing those characters. They were our first Spider-Mans, our first characters we ever seen them playing as.
Yeah, and but also like I also like what they did with Andrew Garfield, because in Andrew Garfield, like again, like I mentioned that MJ was bullying him. They do kind of like bully him throughout the movie, where like he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a failure. You know, you guys fought aliens, and I just fought a guy in a rhino suit."
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. When they were in the like before they were fighting,
they were in the Statue of Liberty, and they were just like talking. They were just shooting the shit, and then Tom Holland asked, "Oh, what were some of the craziest villains you guys ever fought?" And then they're like, "Oh, I think you've already seen some of them. But I fought an alien once. He was made out of black goo." And like both Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire technically fought aliens.
Yeah. And then one of them fought aliens in Earth. Another one fought aliens in space.
Yeah.
And on Earth.
Yeah.
But and then the other one just fought
a guy in a rhino suit.
A guy in a rhino suit.
Yeah. But I like when Tobey was like, "Hey, no, you are not lame. You are amazing. You are amazing.
An amazing Spider-Man." Yeah.
I wish he would have said, "You are an amazing Spider-Man." He just kept saying amazing. I wanted him to say, "You are an amazing Spider-Man."
Yeah. It was really it was like heartfelt at that moment. But the one thing that everyone like lost their shit at when they were whipping their webs and they were doing their landing pose, their original landing pose, one was going all fours, one was going threes, and the other one just going twos.
Yeah.
It was like,
like
beautiful.
Again, little attention to detail like that. That's what I love. That's like what I want out of like my comic book movies. Is like they understand like what the fans like, and they understand how the characters work. So what did you think about that last like fight, that final battle? I really fucking enjoyed it, because we got to see the three Spider-Man working together. We got to hear like the theme music and
the musics.
Yeah, the theme musics. And like all of the villains, and I didn't mention this before, all of the villains are very well acted. I was very surprised on how well like Jamie Foxx acted as Electro again, because essentially he got to redo the character, because in the original one he was fucking lame. Like I don't know what they were trying to do with that Electro. He was like lame, he was weird. They tried to make him like all like mentally unstable, but in this one he was just like a straight up dick, which I liked, because you know, it's Jamie Foxx. He's just really good at playing like a bastard.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is like one of my favorite like ending like battles in like any like MCU movie. And you know what? I think No Way Home is probably like my favorite MCU movie.
Yeah, I really liked it too, because all the characters were being rebooted basically, and giving it a new fresh start.
Yeah,
in this whole universe. Yeah. And also, I really like how like the Electro was a pure life energy, which Electrical in the comics really wanted to be pure energy. Like I didn't like how he became pure energy, and right out of the bat, he was a human with electrical powers.
Yeah,
all human form, electrical powers, going all out. But they just made him pure energy right out of the bat, because in the comics he was just electrical 0.1 and electrical 2.0, and then an electrical form Electro, base pure energy form. He worked himself up to become pure energy Electro, but when they show Electro the first time in the Amazing Spectacular Spider-Man,
the Amazing
Spider-Man 2, they just made him pure energy.
Yeah.
No build up, no nothing. I know they're trying to like
They made him look like Dr. Manhattan from the Watchmen movie.
Yes.
And then I do appreciate this version a lot better of Electro, because even though they don't give him his classic suit, at least it's much better than that bullshit that they did in the second Spider-Man movie.
And this one, they returned him back to his base human form before he got his electrical form. When he was suited up, when the final battle, he had all these electrical conduit armor parts.
Yeah, all these electrical conduits and these and these
that's
relays.
That's like hinting in the comics, Electro, when he was trying to get stronger to defeat Spider-Man, he just had random parts on him to make his lightning more stronger.
Yeah.
And when he fought Spider-Man, Spider-Man defeated him by taking all the parts, making him more weaker. And that's how he came out to when Electro came to idea to make him more stronger, which he made him so Electrical 1.0.
Yeah. What did you think of the Green Goblin? Because he essentially was like the main villain of the movie.
Which I like about the Green Goblin, like the mask is like a classic. Yes, the mask, good. Mm-hmm. But when Harry Osborn broke the mask,
Norman Osborn.
Sorry, Harry is a different.
Yeah, Harry's his son.
Yeah, but he does become Green Goblin in different comics and universes and all that. So when he became the Goblin, and the original Green Goblin, he only wear a hood. His face, he never showed his face. He always wears a hood, laughing manically, tossing pumpkins and all that.
Yeah.
So I like how they go back to the original comics design, where he just hide the hood, hide his face with the hood, no mask, no anything, and he just laughs maniacally.
Yeah, because he has because they redesigned his costume where he breaks that original mask from the 2002 movie, and then he wears like a purple hoodie throughout most of the movie. But then once he decides to go full on evil, there's like a big explosion in the apartment building that Peter Parker and his aunt are living in. Yeah. And throughout the fight,
it was Happy's apartment.
Well, what did I tell you about all this nerd shit? Nobody gives a shit about Happy. Okay, so I got some things to say, but let me finish on the Green Goblin.
All right, go for it.
So then it gets all destroyed in this battle that he has with Tom Holland, and then the hood sort of becomes like it almost looks like that classic comic book Green Goblin costume. Mm-hmm. And I really have to say that the actor who plays Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe, like he understood the assignment. Yes. He is really good. Like watching him interact with like Peter Parker and watching him like go full on evil was just so fun to watch, because really Willem Dafoe in the original Spider-Man, he was like one of the best parts of that movie. Mm-hmm. Him and Alfred Molina from Spider-Man 2, they really understood the assignments in this movie. They really played their characters well. But one thing I do have to say is like this movie isn't exactly perfect, because one, I fucking hate Happy Hogan. I never liked him as a character. He always felt annoying to me in all of these Iron Man and like Avengers and Spider-Man movies. Like, I'm sorry, he's fucking annoying. They should have never put him in the movie at all.
Well, he was supposed to be just a chauffeur, just taking.
I know, but they give him like so many scenes and so many lines of dialogue.
Oh yeah, and
I'm just like, I don't give a shit about this fucking guy.
Apparently, Happy Hogan and Aunt May was dating.
Well, yeah, because in the last movie they were dating. By the end of the movie, but in this one they break up. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't give two fucking shits about Happy Hogan or whatever the fuck his name is. He's annoying. He's not really like in this movie, he's not really necessary like at all. The only thing that he does is that he gives Peter Parker and his Aunt May a place to stay while things are cooling down about like Spider-Man's identity being revealed. Yeah. That's it. Like you could have edited him out of the movie if it weren't for that one thing. But like fuck, I fucking hate that guy. Do you want to talk about how what happens to Aunt May in this movie?
I think we should let the fans watch the movie. Well, technically it's been out at the point where we can talk about it.
Well, let's talk about it. It's because it's already been out. So at first when I saw it, I didn't really like what happened to Aunt May. Because not that I felt bad about it. I just felt like, are we really doing this? Are we really doing this now? But as more that I think about it, like I understand, because like in this movie, we finally get to hear with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And instead of Uncle Ben saying it, it's Aunt May
saying
which
it.
is all right with me because like these movies, like I don't expect like all these movies to follow like the comic books 100%. Because here's the thing about me and adaptations. You can't, like, if something came from like a book, TV show, or a comic book, when it gets translated into a movie, you can't translate it 100% because they're different mediums. For example, like if you translate a book, like a book is told in narration, or it's third in, or it's the story is told in words, so everything has to be described to you.
In a third person?
Well, third person, like, you know, like for example, like in narration, like if it's first person narration, it's like I went to the store and I got robbed at the store. But then if it's like third person, it's like Jack went to the store and as he was buying his Doritos or whatever, a gunman pulled a gun on him and he mugged him for his cash. So that's third person. So, but the point that I'm trying to say is like, so in order to tell a story in a book, in a comic book, or in a TV show, it's different from a movie. So some things do have to be switched around. And also at the same time, if you're remaking a movie or rebooting a movie, I don't always want to see the exact same thing as the previous movie. But I don't know. It's very interesting what they do in the ending with everything, because for one, I understand why they ended the way that they ended it, because they want to move on from like the Tony Stark and the Avengers type stuff, and they want to show Spider-Man as his own hero.
Yeah, that was really funny to me. Like when, like in the end, major spoilers, when Spider-Man tells Doctor Strange to erase memory of Peter Parker, basically erasing himself from existence.
Yeah.
He basically lost his Avengers membership. He lost all the people that
loved and cared
for
about
him, and he lost all the friendships, all the other heroes he met.
But at the same time, he's starting like over.
He's starting anew. He's becoming his own hero again.
He even makes his own homemade Spider-Man suit that we're most likely going to see him wear in like the next one that they make. So but I do have like a couple of questions about that, because here's the thing. So the way that the movie ends, the way that the conflict is resolved, is that Doctor Strange has to cast a spell to send back all of the villains that got transported from different dimensions back to their own dimensions. But in order to do that, he has to make everybody forget who Peter Parker is. Not Spider-Man, Peter Parker. So that means all of his friends and family, all of his Avengers teammates, everybody who's ever known that Peter Parker existed, he doesn't exist. Like, that's what he says.
But anyone who knows Spider-Man would know him.
Yes, exactly. But here's two things, and I've heard like other like film critics and other YouTubers talk about this. Like, so I was thinking this because like in the end of the movie, there's a scene where he's moving in, where Peter Parker's moving into his new apartment, and
which is a classic with Spider-Man movies, because that's the apartment OG.
Yeah,
where he starts all his crime fighting and all where he starts living.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So I'm trying to think of this kind of like logically. So I know that people don't know who Peter Parker exists, but does that mean like, does he get to keep like, you know, like his social security, his birth certificate, like all of these documents that say that he's Peter Parker? Like, is he like, because like in order to get an apartment, you have to have like a social security number. Oh no, wait. So
No. I can counter this after you're done.
No, but here's the thing. Like, in order to get an apartment, you have to have like a bank account. In order to get a bank account, you either need to have like an IRS identification number or a or a social security card or a social security number. So does that mean that like people like So does that mean that Peter Parker still has like all of his like official documents like still handy? Because also like one of his boxes has a GED manual. And if for those who don't know, a GED is like, so let's say like you weren't able to finish high school in the normal way and you just want to take a test to get your high school equivalency. So we see that there's a GED textbook in one of his boxes. So that means does that mean like his school records, like, are those gone? Does he like? Is there no records of all his straight A's? Can he not apply to college? So he has to do a GED now to like get his equivalency to hopefully go into college. Like that's kind of like the thing. It was because like that was kind of like fucking me up a little bit. It's like it like. So he has an apartment, so that means that he probably has like a bank account and a social security number. But at the same time, does that mean he doesn't have his school records anymore? Can't he just like graduate?
So no, I'm gonna counter it.
All right, go
when
for it.
When Spider-Man tell Doctor Strange to raise everyone who knows Spider-Man and Peter Parker as Spider-Man, I think he only did the spell to raise everyone who knew that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So any information, like if you like, for example, let me finish.
Okay.
Now, when I say, oh yeah, I know who Spider-Man is. He's Peter Parker. So when the spell creates, they erase who he is. So when he asks you again, saying, you know who Spider-Man is? Oh yeah, he's actually no, I do not. I do not know who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
So they just basically wiping it out, saying Peter Parker is not Spider-Man, erasing that part of information that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So basically, his lights are split now again. He's Spider-Man. Everyone knows who Spider-Man is, but they don't know that Peter is Spider-Man.
No, but that
yeah, I know the whole GPA like in the textbooks.
But that doesn't really kind of answer my question because it's
I'm trying to.
Okay, then get to it. Cut to the chase.
Yeah, I cut to the chase. So I think he did save some information of himself, like his social card. He still has it, his information, all that, and his banking account. I think he still had it from MJ, from his aunt. Because his aunt had all his information in. So anything that is not documented can be saved. But anything like digital or like mental can be destroyed by the spell. I don't know how the spell works. I don't know how Doctor Strange did the spell.
Yeah, but
so probably documents can be saved because they're written on. So anything that is written on can be saved. So all his social security numbers, everything, the bank accounts, all that, I think he still has those, and he can still go as Peter Parker. But anyone who knows him or has been digitalized and everything of him is like completely gone.
Well, because that kind of makes things complicated because if the physical evidence of him being Peter Parker is still there, then that would mean like wouldn't he just graduate with like his old classmates? Like they wouldn't know who he is, but like I don't think
that's gonna work since he had the book of it. I think.
But did he choose to like drop out of high school and instead get his GED? Like that's just what I'm thinking because that would be a more logical explanation that he doesn't because like he meets with MJ at her coffee shop job and he decides not to reveal himself to her. So you can kind of think like let me just let these guys live their lives and let me find my own way. So let me drop out of high school. I'll get my GED. I'll get to college in another way, and I'll just let these guys live their lives. But also think about this. J. Jonah Jameson is a big part of this movie, and he has a podcast like Alex Jones in the real world. Mm-hmm. Do you think that Doctor Strange was able to erase the previous episodes of his podcast and make people? Well, that's the thing. They never reveal it though.
Yeah,
that's
they
the
never
thing.
reveal it. But when they reveal it of his saying there's been already 2 weeks since the incident of the tower, and Spider-Man is still at large. So I think he forgot about it, but I think digital.
But can't somebody like log on to like his website and then just look through the past episodes and be like, hey, what the fuck? He already revealed who Spider-Man is. What the fuck is he talking about this new episode for? But they never show it.
I think it was deleted because when Doctor Strange did the spell, he wanted everyone who knows Spider-Man is Peter Parker to be completely erased.
Because these are just like the little things that kind of don't make sense, which could kind of be fixed if they maybe like they did like something like if they threw like a quick scene in the edit where we saw like the video being deleted off of like YouTube or whatever, or like
that makes sense,
or like because like I could kind of understand like why he would choose to do like the GED instead of graduating with his, because again, we didn't see like his his private records, like his private documents be erased. Like, because again, he could still have the social security to open up the bank account and to apply for an apartment.
All right, I got it. So since he is Peter Parker, and in his documents it doesn't say Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, he still had his documents because he's Peter
true.
Parker.
But
so
also,
that's why I think he still has his social.
But also remember that Doctor Strange said that nobody will remember that you're Peter Parker. But also think about this: like, if you're walking in the street, or you're going shopping or whatever, do you know like everybody who's like on the street, or do you know everybody who's in the thing? Like, no. Like you don't know what's going on in their lives and stuff like that. So that makes sense. So like some random like landlord or like some person who works at the Social Security office, they're not gonna know that it's Peter Parker. So like they are not gonna get affected by the spell. But I'm just kind of thinking like there's just like a couple of things about the logic of like how the movie is resolved that does still kind of bother me, which prevents the movie from being it kind of prevents the movie from being like a 10 out of 10 movie for me.
Well,
in terms of like writing.
We will find that out when they make the 4th Spider-Man movie.
Or they'll just fucking like not address it at all.
No, well, we have to wait until
we
then.
just have to wait and see, I guess.
Because I think my theory will be like logical, because all documents about Peter Parker will be still saved, since it's not to say that he is also known as Spider-Man. So every document about him himself will be saved. Yeah. But the erasing the memory of everyone will be gone, of course. Yeah. But like saying like he goes to the bank saying, "Oh, I'm like to withdraw money out," and he has his like money card to draw money. Of course, they gotta have the information of him, because he doesn't say AKA as known as Spider-Man. So I think some documents of him that is not doesn't have Spider-Man in it still will be saved. Okay. So like all his social security, his money, banking, all that, everything, all money that was left behind for him, like for example, Stark led glasses for him to control Ethan in the space. So I think Ethan will still remember Peter if he wears the glasses again, and he will have all the money.
Well, I mean, like again, like we're dealing with like magic and stuff, and like, you know, what really is the extent of the magic?
Is like a little iffy in there because you don't know what's the actual effects of it. But we just need to wait until the next movie to come out, and we will know. Okay. So basically, it's just a waiting game at this point.
So I think we really mentioned everything that needs to be mentioned about this movie.
10 out of 10. Really loved it.
Final thoughts again.
Final thoughts. 10 and 10.
I'd give it more of an 8 out of 10, to be honest, because there's still some things that don't make sense. But again, like the movie is so good. The writing of the characters is so good. The movie looks great. I love not all of the effects. Some of the effects were kind of iffy. Because did you notice that the lizard was all in shadow? Yes. And for most of the movie.
And he never spoke.
Well, he did speak sometimes.
No, he didn't speak at all when he was first introduced.
Yes, he didn't speak at all, but you just can't say that he didn't speak at all, because you're going to make people think that he didn't speak. Well, but make yourself more clear.
Yeah, he didn't speak at the beginning, but
then also like the Sandman, he was like always in his sand form throughout the movie. Like, but did you know about the 2 actors who played them? So they were able to get both actors who played the Lizard and the Sandman from their original movies. Yeah. But those 2 actors only did voiceover.
Really? They didn't show them themselves, so they had to get stunt doubles?
Because at the end of the movie, you see when they get cured, you see their actual faces. What that is that they use scenes from the other movies and green screen them into the scene. Really? Yeah, they're green screen. Their performances, Lizard and Sandman, were both all voiceover from the original actors, and I could tell, especially like with Sandman, because he's played by an actor named Thomas Hayden Church, and he has a very distinct, gruff voice, the same voice that he used in this movie. But when we see him cured, that's like a deleted scene from Spider-Man 3 that we didn't get to see. Really? And they reused it for this one.
Wow. Okay.
So again, like the movie is I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I love this movie. This movie felt like an actual Spider-Man movie. All of the actors were great. it's my favorite MCU movie. I have to say it beats the Guardians of the Galaxy for me. It beats any of the Avengers movies because I actually felt something in this one. I actually felt something with this one, and that goes a long way with me. So I really love this movie.
I see.
So if you haven't seen the movie, check it out.
It's really good.
It's really good. If it's still in theaters, check it out in theaters.
I need to change my ranking about it now, since you mentioned like the whole thing. I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh my god!
Just because in my head I know like I'm predicting theories what will happen in the next one.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm like correct 85% of it.
Yeah.
So for me I still have it, but the 1% is still like the how it will work thing.
Yeah. But yeah, the movie is great. Again, my favorite MCU movie. There'll probably not be any other MCU movies that top this one. I'm definitely
wait until the next Spider-Man and you will change your mind.
But the reason why I love this one so much is because of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Without them in the next one, I don't think I'm gonna love the next one as much.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll see. Well, hopefully, like the next one will be like they'll introduce like the Black Suit and Venom in this universe.
Okay. Oh.
So
sorry, I was just checking outside.
So hopefully they'll introduce Venom in the next in the next movie. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But even still, like they're not gonna have my boy. They're not gonna have my boy Tobey Maguire.
True. But honestly, it will be a good beginning for Tom Holland in the MCU. Now by himself and becoming his own hero again. Like the original Spider-Mans, they all became their own original heroes.
Yeah.
And it's funny to know that the other two Spider-Mans never heard of who are the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though the Avengers are like a big part of Spider-Man always interacting with.
Because I guess it just seems like they don't have Iron Man, Captain America, none of them.
Yeah.
In those movies. But did you know that the original Tobey Maguire movies were supposed to be a part of a big universe?
Yeah.
So, for example, like in Spider-Man 2, at the end of Spider-Man 2, where Mary Jane is running in her wedding dress to go see Peter Parker, she runs past a guy who's dressed all in black with dark black hair. Guess who that's supposed to be? The Punisher.
The Punisher? Really?
Yeah. And then in the original Spider-Man movie, the one from 2002, Spider-Man was supposed to run into Wolverine. He was supposed to run into Wolverine in the original one, and that was like a deleted scene that was cut from the movie.
Wow.
And in the original X-Men movie from the year 2000, there is a blooper. There's like an outtake where like Cyclops, Storm, and Jean Grey are running into a room, and right behind them is a guy in a Spider-Man suit.
Really?
Yeah. I'll show you later. So if you look up like all these like little Easter eggs from those original like Marvel movies from the 2000s, you would see that like these movies were supposed to be interconnected, but
it never did.
But it never happened. So possibly in Tobey Maguire's universe, there's like some kind of Avengers or something, but who knows?
I'm just sad that the Avengers only exist in their universe, even though that Spider-Man interacts with them constantly in the comics.
Yeah. No, but it's fine. It's fine because again, like I didn't love like Tobey Maguire's movies because he was part of a big universe. I love those movies because those movies were great. So I don't really care all that much.
All right then.
Anyways, so thanks for listening to us. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comments. Tell us what you think about Spider-Man No Way Home.
And we hope we can see you guys next time with our next episode. What it's gonna be, co-host?
That time I got reincarnated as a Slim Shady.
Yes, the slimmest of all shadies.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope you guys enjoy. Have a nice day, and we will see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
That's a wrap.